So today we're gonna have a little walk and talk. I'm expecting a pile of phone calls, so this may get cut short. Not that you would know, but I would know. So today I was thinking more about writer's block, since I had it for about 10 years, series of traumatic events. Although I was still producing stuff, I still felt like not complete, or I was kind of empty inside. It's hard to explain, but I think a lot of you understand what that is. I didn't feel as connected to my muse as I had for decades before. But I'm coming out of it. And I feel like a lot of you probably have similar things that detract us from our missions or goals or our attitudes. You know, divorces, deaths. You know, for me, my father died, so that derailed me for a few years. He died about 3 years ago, so I'm finally getting back on track. Other people, you know, recover quicker. Others recover longer. Everybody is so different with how we perceive things and deal with things in our lives. So you gotta don't be hard on yourself. You know, you gotta take it easy and do what you can. So part of writer's block, you know, there's many reasons and many forms. So today I'll talk more about not the emotional stuff, but just getting started. Sometimes it's just getting started. How do we start? Where is the starting point? What are we trying to do? So, you know, my answer is often, go for a walk. See, look, for instance, a building here. Look, they got the netting up, they got the little porta potty. They're building this nice, big, beautiful house in this neighborhood. And so that can give you lots of fodder for who's moving in, what's going on, what's happening in the neighborhood. Are the new people nice or weird? You know, all these ideas. And so often what I tell my students is, oh, I'm getting used to this new system. It doesn't have a thing to really hold it stable. I did read a little about that on the reviews on it. Some people found it slips, and now I understand what they're talking about. But yeah, so asking questions is a great way to build a character, to figure out a plot. Just start asking questions. Who is your character? What do they love? What do they hate? How old are they? What do they wear? What do they like to eat? Who do they, you know, do they have a romantic interest? Are they battling an inner demon? And then you start thinking in the bigger picture of your story, what is it they're trying to accomplish? What is stopping them? Will they be successful? What is their Achilles heel? What is their weakness? What is their, you know, how can someone get to them? You know, are they super sensitive? Or sensitive as in, ooh, magic? You know, depending what genre you're writing in, right? Then you're thinking about places. So here we are in front of the Toronto Police College, and do many stories take place there? I don't know. They could indeed. Maybe a young cadet is training to be part of the police force. You know, maybe there's an old boys club and a woman is trying to break in. Maybe a thief has infiltrated the college because they want to learn the inner workings of how the police force works so they can have better criminal activity. I mean, you know, it's endless. It's very endless on things once you start asking yourself questions. But here's another interesting building I'm walking by today. And so this big brown building, from what I understand, it used to be part of Bell Canada. You see, it still has like the telephone thing on it. And I've heard there were some mysterious deaths in there There's the death of a child. There was some kind of hanging accident. So that you can start asking yourself about these things. It just looks like a normal building from the outside, you know, much like Rosemary's Baby. Rosemary's Baby buildings, right? And they all look so normal on the outside, but what's happening on the inside? You know, are people breaking in? Is it abandoned? Is it lived? Are there certain hallways you're not allowed to go down because something bad's gonna happen? Do people run out at 5 o'clock because once the sun goes down, bad things happen? You know? So these are kind of ideas on how to figure out places, settings, people. It's all about just asking questions, asking questions, asking questions. And that can get you going, that can get you started on what happens next. What happens next? What happens next? Why is this going to succeed? Why is this going to fail? Does the character, are they, you know, likable, hateable? You know, there's many, many ways to deal with characters and places and things. So that's a way to get through the writer's block. One step at a time. And even with that, you don't even need to think about, oh, my eyes are watering because it's kind of cold out and I'm not used to the sun actually shining for the first time in a week or two. So I'll put on my sunglasses again. I'm not blocking you out, I'm blocking out the sun. But I do need the vitamin D. We all need the vitamin D. It's been a long, 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 long winter. Very long. Very, very long. So here's another place. You know, people who belong to this religion know all the answers, or some answers. Then there's those of us that walk by this place all the time. It's like, oh, it's neat. It has little orange flags. You know, then they have their big festivals, and there's lots of tents. They have the big parade down the street. You know, but that, to me, that's something different that I'm not used to. And so it invites all kinds of stories. And I know orange is a color for the sacral chakra. And I was going to do a close-up on, I don't know if you can see them with the way the sun is. But yeah, this very beautiful, glittery, oh, this looks better. See, they just, all these beautiful flags waving, and the orange is very, the building's very orange, and it's just really a cool place. And they're always so friendly when you walk by, and their sidewalk is always shoveled. So it's a, and then over, see that big black building over there? That's a brand new building. I don't know if people have even moved in yet. They built that thing really fast. And it's cool. I think it's supposed to be a building for, I can't remember if it's the blind people or the deaf people, but it's some sort of accessibility building. And I think it's like so cool looking, and definitely an asset. So you can say, oh, I want to live in the yellow painted window place. You know, you can think about who's moving in, who's moving out. Is it haunted? Is it cool? Are there horrible people living there? What challenges might there be to move into a place that was just built? Is it haunted yet? Who knows? We don't know. Maybe it's haunted, maybe it's not. We don't know. And then here we're coming up to a skate park. So that can get you thinking about things. Who goes to the skate park? You know, what happens at the skate park? Are some of these skateboarding people going on to do professional skateboarding? Are they training to win some contests and prizes and all that? This place is full in the summer. Always lots and lots of kids and adults, you know, trying all the ramps and loops and stuff. You know, and it's free. Anyone can walk by and look at it and deal with it. It's all very interesting. Then we have all kinds of graffiti. I'm not sure why those people in front of me keep staring at me, because I'm not photographing them at all, and they probably can't hear me. I'll just stop for a bit. See, look at this cool piece of graffiti. Like, who drew that? Were they allowed to draw that? Were they commissioned by the city to draw that, or did they just come in one day and draw it? Why did they choose the colors they chose? You know, you could be writing about the person who drew it. You can be writing about the person that is angry they drew it. You could be anyone writing about anything, as usual. And more things over here. More graffiti. Actually, I'll come and show it so I can get away from those people. I'll show you. Show you the ramp. See, it's very cool, the ramp. All these ramps and stuff. Then you'll see there's a tree over there that says Jordan. Jordan was, I think, 14, and he was shot here at the park, maybe even in the spot where that tree is. I don't know exactly where. There's some gun violence. I don't know if there was gangs involved. I have no idea if it was a random stray bullet situation or if there were gangs, and what Jordan I guess now they've named after him. Oops, sorry, I was just checking for my microphone. I probably made it crinkle really loud. And then there's this building over here. I actually wrote about this building in a very recent story. This building has been here for 1,000 years. Well, not 1,000, but maybe 100. I don't know how old it is, but nobody lives there, and it's like a building in the middle of nowhere. See? It's all these fields, and they say, you know, that a lot of the fields were very toxic for many, many years, so they weren't building things. And then this one building, I guess it's like one of those last holdout people. Everybody else sold off their land, but this guy didn't. So they're always kicking people out of there. There may be people in there now. I've never, ever, ever tried to go in there because I don't know what to expect, because there's so many floors. You can see, like, windows are broken out all the time. I'm sure in the winter, or like even now, it's still pretty cold out. There's probably lots of people who go there for warmth, you know. So again, asking questions like, what is that place? Why is it the only building in the middle of nowhere? And why do the windows get broken out and put up again? Who's in there? Is it teenagers? Is it adults? Are they squatters? Are they just partying? Okay, now I'm in front of it, so I'll give you another look. So it's right there. You can see. So you see, lots of questions. Just keep asking the questions, and then you can start building your story. You might just end up with notebooks full of notes, endless notes, and that's fine, because now you've filled a blank page, and that's the goal, isn't it? Anyways, so that's my little walk and talk, and that's today's ideas about writer's block and asking questions, trying to get past those questions.